No.
We've got Ruben, who is an agnostic, calling in from Texas. Pronouns are he, him. Ruben, how are you doing today?
I'm doing just fine. How are y'all?
Hey, Ruben.
We're awesome. So what exactly do you want to talk about today, Ruben?
So as I put on my topic of question, the issues with atheism and their objection to all what happened in the Old Testament, they use presentism to defend, to attack all those things that happened.
Explain.
So that's their.
How do you mean?
That's a fallacy. Using presentism to judge all the people that what they did back then is a fallacy. Is what I'm trying to get my point across.
Please elaborate on what you're referring to with presentism.
Yeah, I'm lost there.
Well,
help us with that.
Well, I mean, the biggest issue this country faced, United States, I'm gonna bring up slavery. Slavery back then, 2,000 years ago, nobody was having topics on how bad it was. Time passed, and that discussion started happening. The same thing is happening with abortion today. Do you see where I'm getting at?
No, I'm not
sure
following
you now.
You're saying that back in the day they weren't talking about how bad slavery was. Did I hear that right?
Well, yeah. Every society in our history, slavery was the rule, not the exception.
Okay.
Sure.
So what's your point?
Just because they weren't talking about it being bad, let's say we agree with that. I don't, but like let's say nobody said slavery was a bad thing until all of a sudden in the 1800s we decided it was bad.
Probably
does that mean that
did?
Right, you probably. Like I say, I'm not saying that's true. I don't think that's true at all. But let's assume it was still bad though, right? Like it wasn't good because nobody said it was bad. Are we on agreement on that?
Well, today it is bad. Back
then was it bad? Was it bad back then?
Was it bad?
No.
Why not?
Well, I'll bring up another one. I'm not trying to hurry here.
No.
We're going to talk about that one.
Tell me when it's okay. History in past or present or future. Tell me when it's okay for one human being to own another human being. Tell me when it's okay. Your turn, Ruben.
Well, that's self. Depending on what society you are, all had laws on what made that okay back then.
Forget the laws.
We're not talking about legal. We're talking about moral.
When it's okay morally for one human to own another human, history or present. When is it okay?
Well, back then it was okay.
Nope, we're not talking about legal.
You're
talking about moral.
You're saying it was morally okay
in
back
general,
in the Old Testament.
In general, yes, morally, legally.
Why? Why was it okay? Let me ask you this. Do you think if you'd have been a slave who'd been regularly beaten by his master, do you think you would have felt like it was okay? Because it was legal?
Well, I mean, you got to keep in mind slavery was hypocrisy as well. People that were
I'm asking you about what's morally acceptable for one human to own another human. I'm not talking about whether God sanctioned it in the Old Testament or whether it was legal or anything. I'm talking about the moral acceptance of it. Do you think it's okay to own another human? Ever? In any circumstance?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Okay. I disagree. I think it's abhorrent that you hold that position.
A disgusting fascist view.
But look at
awful.
But look at today's controversy. We got abortion. 2000.
What about abortion?
No.
Complaining about a third trimester abortion. I know you're going to disagree. You see where I'm getting at?
What are you talking about? No, I don't see what you're getting at.
That would be a fallacy to just judge people that were having third trimester abortions 2,000 years ago. That's a fallacy.
I genuinely
And yes, I'm
don't
against
care
abortion.
about anything besides the fact that you just said that
Yeah.
slavery is okay
Yeah,
sometimes.
I
I'm
think we're
sorry, I'm not
probably
interested in anything else there.
I think we're probably
That's
done with your arguments because you're
yeah.
defending slavery, and
There
I
is
would
no
challenge.
context.
Yeah, I would challenge you to just sit with yourself for a little bit and think about how you would feel if you were a slave in the Old Testament
Yup.
days, in the Civil War era, or present day in some other country. How you would feel if you did not have the freedom to come and go as you pleased, and you were owned by another human, and you were beaten if you did a misstep. You think
Yup.
about that, Ruben, before you start defending it. I think we need to move on.
Absolutely disgusting. 2 in a row.
Boom.
People saying it's okay to commit heinous atrocities.
But we're the immoral atheists. Woo!
Right. I did want to, like, anytime we call somebody who promotes slavery, anytime we get some fascist on here who thinks it's okay to own people, I always do want to ask them about slavery in the United States. At exactly what time did it stop being a bad thing? You know,
Yeah.
or you know, when was the historical context that you would have been okay with it? But honestly, I feel sick letting those calls go on any longer.
I
than they
just can't
absolutely
talk
have
to him after that. I really can't.
It's rough, dude. It's so rough.